2:13 on a cold Saturday afternoon. I'm in Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland, and I'm still waiting for the relevant agencies and bodies that are aware of the missing child I gave birth to, still as an issue unresolved. There's a matter in this community that has caused hurdle after hurdle and hoops and loops and just the worst dodge tactics I have ever observed. There has been very crude behaviour, and there has been the issue of people displaying disrespect that I take exception to when it disrespects women and children's rights. So the matter that I'm raising in this upload is with regard to the lack of performance, the lack of proactive conduct, the lack of professionalism, and the discourtesy to my patronage and property. Now, they say the worst thing about not being talked about is being talked about, and people that are talking about things that they don't have first-hand experiential knowledge of is not very sufficient. And I've already raised in these uploads the issue of false evidence and disinformation. Now, there's been societal obstacles placed before me as a teacher and as a property owner and as a mother and a mom, and the state is not providing my wealth that it is obligated to. I am owed from my state and I'm not receiving from my state. My wealth is, as I refer to it, my hierarchy of needs. So the issue of property theft and the issue of a reoccurrence of property theft or property fraud in any shape or form, with particular the trespassers and intruders into premises where they are not legally, rightfully entitled to be at all. Due to my position in society, there are certain standards and certain procedures and certain, boundaries, just simple little limitations that people have to respect that aren't being respected. And therefore, since 2019, there's been problems with disinformation and people continuing spiritual violence that haven't reformed. So I'm really concerned that the relevant agencies and bodies haven't contacted me personally, and that there are still liabilities in society that are dodging the bullet, not respecting the fact that they have caused very serious damages in society already so far. Now, they've been evading debt for a long while. There's been a lot of damage caused in the area of finance in this scenario, especially particularly with the exploitation from my work. So there is the issue of the tax evasion, and there's the issue of the financial theft and fraud that I'm experiencing. And I'm still awaiting for the relevant authorities to address the idiocy of social influencers that think they're going to monopolize a very big situation that I have earned and that I am entitled to, and where there are obligations already preset that aren't being respected. So there have been changes, there have been transformations, there have been reforms, there has been recovery, there has been progress, and there's been regression, and there's still been begrudgery. So it is a serious issue that in 21, after contacting the relevant bodies in 2017, I'm still tolerating people in my proximity that are false reporting, that are of disinformation, false evidence, fraudulence, and defamation of character. There is no individual that has had direct contact with me simply due to the liabilities in this community that are obstructing the natural ebb and flow of a situation that could be of equilibrium. They've disrupted society and they've caused discomfort for people with their lying. It's an incessant cycle that I've had to endure. And the issue of denigration or defamation or debasement for a law-abiding citizen, a humanitarian, etc., it's unacceptable. So the changes in Irish society have been obvious since 2018. Those have been negatively impacted also So that's due to these people's efforts to have a control of a situation where they don't actually have full control of at all. So there are some things that aren't greater than God, there are some things that are greater than God, and there are some things that are in our control and that aren't in our control. And those politicians or practitioners or policymakers that are looking for notoriety on a very superficial premise, on my premises, I might add, in Tubbertill and Kilflynn, I really hope that there could be a little bit of common sense with regard to the sinister casualties, those liabilities that have been trying to monopolise this circumstance with isolation tactics, obstruction, withholding information from me, imposing upon me with slanderous falsehoods. These kind of people are not good for politics or for society or for the judiciary. So I really hope that we already have learned since 2018 what their input has done to the face of this situation. And those that are disrespecting the reality of the situation, that have been prospering and gaining and exploiting and improving, I really hope they wouldn't disrespect, what has been